whatever that thing that I have in the middle, and just kind of like just pops up or
Does it
whatever.
have a theme? We watched 2 episodes. Did it have a theme?
True. I don't remember there being an intro. No, it does have an intro. It hasn't. It has a title card. I just don't remember what is. It one of like? Is it one of those title cards like American Horror Stories where like it has like weird like things happening? No, I don't remember. I truly don't remember. I guess that is one downfall of the show.
Okay, nevertheless, this is a new series that we're trying to do here. Is BT talks Lovecraft. Of course, we might do this with other TV shows. We might not do this ever again. We don't know because we're just bored. And we watched Lovecraft yesterday. And
what's your name, sir?
Yeah, can I get a drink of water? I'm parched. I live in the north, kind of. This is Chris. Of course, we switched it up. If you ever watched the podcast, and over there in the white on my left, your right, is Will. Will, say hi.
Hello. So Chris decided it's like Chris finally got HBO Max, and this was one of the shows that we both wanted to watch. We were both waiting for it.
No, we're not
waiting for it, but it was like interesting.
It was. We kept seeing commercials for it.
Okay, what got you interesting in the show?
I knew, so I like the time period, and I like the characters, and I like the production company that does it. The production company is the same production company of it's Jordan Peele's. It's the guy who did Get Out. It's Monkey Paw Production.
Okay, that kind of goes with the whole theme of I mean, at least the first 2 episodes, because we only watched the first 2 episodes. And
it's the first 2 episodes, but this episode right now, of our show, we're trying to break it down episode by episode. So this first episode will probably just be talking about the first intro episode, right?
The reason, and the reason I wanted to watch the show is just because like it was Lovecraft, and I know Lovecraft has just the H.P. Lovecraft. That guy was, I know he was really racist, but he had like he just had weird monster things and mythological shit, and I love that shit. Just weird monsters and mythological shit.
Just like weird monster shit. But we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna keep doing this, especially for Lovecraft, because we still have 6 more episodes. There's 10 in the season.
Oh, there's 10.
There's 10 in the season.
Okay.
But let us know in the comments or anywhere else, wherever, if you guys want to see more of us talking about different.
We're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it.
like I'm just gonna throw this out here. I watched some of this other show that we might be teasing right now. Watchmen, the HBO Watchmen series.
Ooh, we could watch that. Oh.
We both like Watchmen.
Yeah, we both like Watchmen, and I was interested in the series. I just never like
we didn't have HBO. Yeah, but let's break. Let's.
This is not a commercial for HBO Max. First of all, let's just get that clear.
It's not, because we might actually do some Hulu stuff and some Netflix stuff where we haven't for.
Unless HBO Max, we get big. HBO Max wants to sponsor. Hey, we'll only do HBO Max shows. But yeah, it was So we don't remember an intro for the show.
There's no intro, but like the main scene, the first scene. First, let's talk about the actors. Jonathan Majors, who plays Atticus Freeman, the main character.
Okay, he's the main character.
He's so far 2 episodes, top tier actor for me. Great.
Great. Top tier, but he's a good actor.
I like him. Of course, his uncle.
I mean, he's
Uncle George.
He's playing.
It's going to be.
I mean, the main character is playing kind of like a stoic character. He doesn't like emote too much. I know,
but he's playing. And he kind of emotes later on, but
because I think his character is kind of like an army guy. Who's like, oh, he just came back from war, and he's like, so he's kind of stoic.
I think Korean War.
But like most soldiers in every single medium that's ever been made, it's like they're very stoic, but they're really weak inside. Like they have PTSD,
shell shock,
and all that. Yeah. So go ahead with Uncle George.
Uncle George is Courtney B. Vance. Courtney B. Vance is a badass actor. No one knows of him. I don't know if you will. I don't know if you ever watched the HBO show. No, was it the FX like what is it? And OJ Simpson versus people.
I didn't. No, I didn't watch. I heard it was good. I just never watched it.
So
I'm not interested.
Courtney B. Vance played Ronnie Crockett, like
the lawyer,
the guy who's like the lawyer. He played the lawyer in that. He's like, if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
You must have quit.
Right. That and then fuck. What's the actress's name? The actress is µùiléi, but I forgot her first name here. Let me look it up.
Oh, the girl.
The girl, the main girl is.
I've never seen her before in anything else.
µùiléi. I'm trying to put a French accent on it for some reason.
Is she have like a French descendant? Then?
I don't know. It's.
She has it sounds like a French last name.
There's an R in there, and the R's always fuck me up. Julie,
Okay, just move on. Yeah.
Okay, but she was awesome. Those are the main three characters, I'll say, especially in episode 1.
Yeah, of course. Especially in episode 1.
There's also some side characters, but nevertheless, it starts. If I remember correctly, I'm doing this by mind. I don't have any.
I mean, I'll try to help. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. The first shot is Atticus Freeman coming back from war. I believe he's having a dream on a bus, and it's like this weird.
Yeah, this very like almost. It's very
like
Sucker Punch style dream of just like
yeah
of like aliens invading and like just like and then him like with the superhero or something, and like a beautiful woman comes around. Or
it's an alien.
Like that.
It's an alien. Alien comes around. He's like I'll make anything happen or whatever. And then like a Lovecraftian monster comes around. And then for some reason, someone like on the bus was talking about like baseball players or something. And then he's like, oh, baseball players are like superheroes, and he imagines Jackie Robinson.
You know what? Now that we. Well, I mean, I'll get. I mean, I'll have to like try to remember. I'll put this over here to try to remember that point. But I have a theory. When we get to episode 2, we start talking about episode 2. I think I have a theory. But okay, go ahead. So
yeah, and then he wakes up from the dream. There's a road and it's bumpy, and they pan back from the bus, and they're like in the color section of the bus, which tells me this might be. Like not the 70s, so like 60s, 50s. I would say maybe even closer to the 40s. Like not the 40s because the guy was in war, so therefore he would probably be 50s or 60s. Like I don't know. I don't know if it's. I think it's Korean War, but if I have to guess, because it's kind of very segregated. But he's going back home to Chicago. I think he was in. He just got back from the base. From wherever base, but he was leaving Kentucky, going to Illinois, going to Chicago because his dad sent him a letter, his estranged dad, and for some reason he's missing now.
Yeah, but he hasn't talked to his dad for like 5 years or something like that. Like
they got in later in the episode. He's talking to his uncle. It's like they got in a big fight because he joined the army or the.
What happened to his mom? Dead or.
Yeah. They say eventually when he gets back to Chicago, he says like after his mom died, so his dad's wife, of course.
Okay.
That his dad started going on like she just died randomly, like we don't know how.
I mean,
there's probably something to it, but she was alive when he was alive.
It's a storyline they could easily explore real quick.
Yeah. But the thing is that. From there, we get to introduce to the uncle and his like nephew and his like cousin.
And you can tell like he's more of the uncle's more of like a father figure to him than probably his own dad.
Yeah, it looks like
he gets along.
It looks like
he gets along with the uncle.
It looks like what it happens is like him and his uncle like bonded better because they both like kind of this Lovecraftian like storytelling,
Yeah,
like the
like
books.
the uncle likes to read. He likes to read, I guess, fantasy and stuff like that. He
Yeah,
likes to read.
because from there, after we introduce, they get introduced at the uncle's apartment or like his family's house, in Chicago. They go to the uncle's like business, right? And then he has like books, like Lovecraft books, and then Atticus says like, yeah, remember when my dad yelled at me for reading this book, and here
Yeah.
it is. It's still like you still have it, and he's like, yeah, I like stuff like that, even though it's like Lovecraft is like racist or something or
Yeah,
whatever he says after that.
Lovecraft was a huge racist.
Uh, so was
his cat's name was like the N word. It was like huge racist.
so was everyone back in the day. That's what sucks. Society sucks. Nevertheless, they go there and then they start talking about how his dad has disappeared. His uncle doesn't know if he was like just is back on our bender, but it's been like 2 weeks, maybe more.
So
Right?
So at that point, people haven't seen the dad.
Yeah, they haven't seen him. He hasn't seen him for probably 2 weeks or more.
Well,
But he got worried. Uncle George says he got worried until when his landlord came around trying to ask for him because he hasn't paid his rent. So at some point, he was like, yeah. At that point, I actually got worried.
I wonder how many.
I
wonder how many landlords have found like dead bodies, and they're like, yeah, they haven't paid rent at all. Like, and they go and they're like, they're the first person that people usually see. I mean, don't. Yeah, the other way around.
Yeah. It's probably the first
people
a
lot of people live by themselves, and they're like, well, where is this guy? I need my money. Oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. There, and then that's why Atticus like reads the note, and he's like, "Yeah, I figured out something about your mom. You have this secret family line that we don't know about,
Yeah,
and
they
we're trying to
tease
find
that.
it. We're going to Arkham, Massachusetts, which later we find out is actually Ardham, right? Massachusetts.
Yeah, it has an H. It has an H in the. It has an H in it. It's like
It's weird. It's Ardham, Massachusetts. There. And then this is where that's when we kind of leave them, and that's when we go to Lev.
Yeah, we get introduced. Like, I mean, she gets introduced into the show. Like,
yeah, because there's a big like a community concert there with her sisters, one of the main performers, and then they sing a song together there, and like there's a big musical scene which is very cool, very like awesome to like the time period of the 50s or 60s there. It's like pretty cool. And then she recognizes Atticus, and she's like, "Who's that?" It's like, "Yeah, that's Atticus." And he's like, "That's Atticus? I haven't seen him since like high school."
Yeah, like his nickname was like Tick or something.
Yeah, Tick or something. Yeah, like maybe he had a tick when he was a kid, or he had like a little thing.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, and she's like, damn, he grew up because he's all ripped. He's all like, just like freshman back from the military. Yeah. He's like perfectly like ripped and everything because he just came back from the military. And she's like, damn, he grew up. He's like, yeah, he's been serving. And she's like, what?
And then her, to give a little backstory to her, she apparently her mother had just died recently.
Yeah, recently. Like,
during that first episode, they don't tell you how early it was, but like she didn't show up to the mother's funeral, so like her sister like keeps that over her head, and then later on we meet her brother, and her brother keeps that over her head, so the family doesn't really like her. They because she I guess she tries to step away from the family and try to distance herself from the family.
Like what I got from her, from her sister and her brother, they always one of the first thing they ask her is like, oh, are you here to ask for money?
Yeah,
are you here to ask for anything?
I'm assuming it's not the first. Yeah, I'm assuming it's not the first time she's done it then.
And there's that's like one of the two quick things. Kind of three quick things is like she has a strained relationship with her family. She keeps asking them for money. Right, and then she carries a camera around her the whole time. She takes photos. Remember she took a photo of her sister, and then later she has a camera around her. So like
I
she's
don't
probably
remember.
like an
Oh yeah,
avid,
yeah. Oh yeah, because like
she's an
yeah,
avid
yeah,
photographer.
yeah, yeah. This,
There. And then we go to the next scene. And we find out that Lev, I think it's Lev.
it's it's
It's Leti. Leave?
it's
Leave?
it's no. I thought it was
Lit?
LILIENTE, something like that.
I looked at the
Lil,
Wikipedia. I looked at
Lil,
Wikipedia. It's a LE. It's
Lil,
LE. It's Lil.
Letitia
What
or
else?
something like that.
I don't know. I don't know. It's something. It's something. But I'm just gonna call it Lil. It's knows Atticus from like the science fiction club and from high school,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then she's gonna go. Besides not staying with her sister, she's gonna go with him and her uncle to to find the Atticus's dad. That
No,
that
no,
they
no, no,
think they
no.
went.
She
They
was
went to.
going. She was going to her brother's house, and like
Oh, okay.
it was like
I'm
it was going in the direction that they were going. So they were the uncle in what was the main character's name?
Atticus.
And Atticus were going. So they were gonna stay at her at the brother's house, but the brother and Lil get in an argument. So she's like, "Well, I don't have nowhere to go. I might as well go with them." So she goes
Okay,
starts
yeah,
going
yeah.
with
So
them, and they go to and then they go to Arkin, and then on
yeah,
the
yeah.
way to
Before
Arkin, that's when everything gets a little.
no, yeah. Before we get to even to the brother's house, we do like a little montage scene where they're driving through the Midwest because I think the brother lives probably in looks like Pennsylvania, so they drive from like Chicago through
How
like
can you tell? I don't
uh
understand any way you
Indiana.
tell.
Indiana looks the same, so it looks like it's literally all the same, and it makes no sense because they said Midwest. They said Midwest, right? They're going from Chicago to Massachusetts, right? That's not the Midwest, if I remember
Who
correctly,
said
of
it
the
was the
United States.
Midwest?
Because they go from like Chicago, right? And they say Midwest, they have like a huge banner that says Midwest or Mid East. I might have misread that, but no one calls that the Mid East,
The Mid East.
right? So like they said Midwest, so I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
they're not like in Missouri. They're not like why would you go down to go like across? You can just go. It's Chicago and then Massachusetts, right?
True.
But like they're in like Indiana. Looks like they're getting harassed. There's one time that they kind of like the first episode they kind of push like there's racism. There's like
Yeah,
systemic
yeah.
kind of racism through like everywhere. Like there's Atticus is eating a banana and talking to Liv. He's just having a snack, and then the gas attendant is like
Yeah,
calling him a monkey,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
it's like some horrible shit, and then they go to a diner. There's like, hey, there's no sign here for color people. Can we eat here? The waiter eats attends them, gives them water, and then Liv goes back to the bathroom, and she hears the waiter calling the cops, right? And then they
Mm-hmm.
have to book it. They get chased by the cops, and then this is where it's odd. They get chased by cops, and then some random like silver car, the cops is shooting at them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, not
And
the
then
cops, but not. It wasn't the cops. It was just like just
the fire
the,
department,
no,
like
it
some
wasn't.
like
It was
I thought it was
civilians. It was literally just some civilians in a pickup truck that was shooting at
because I
them.
know the fire truck was chasing them. I thought they were cops. But there was then the silver car like kind of like stops right in front of him. Like they kind of pass the intersection.
Yeah, it
The
was like
main
an
character's
interception.
cars, and then the silver car like flips the car with the people that is chasing
Yeah, but
Atticus,
and it got
which you're
flipped,
like
and
you're
it
like
got flipped, and you're like a weird way. You as the viewer, and then like the characters later are like, well, how did that car even get flipped? But
yeah, like the viewers very which I kind of like when TV shows do that. And it's very much like a gimmick of like TV shows in general. It's like they have people who are playing like new people inside this world, right?
mm-hmm,
And we have these three people who are like functioning as like these new people to this new world, like for like we are,
mm-hmm.
right? Which is pretty cool. There and this woman with a red hat, blonde, walks out of the car and we're like,
Yeah, like
who the fuck is that?
who's like that? But
Who the fuck is that?
it makes sure the show makes sure like she kind of sticks in your memory because she has like
Kinda,
a red
yeah.
got a red hat or something. And she's like very colorful compared to everything else.
Yeah. There, and then there is then.
That's
Then,
when
if
we.
I
That's when
remember
we get.
correctly,
That's when we get to the brother's house. That's when we get to the
that's when we
brother's
get to the
house.
brother's house, and then that's when
And then
Lev and
they
him
have
get
the
into a big
argument, and yeah.
argument there, and then that's when Uncle George calls his wife and his daughter, trying to make sure everything's okay with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the big thing for him. It's like he still wants, he's there to help out Atticus, whose family, who's like a little who's like a son to him, but he still is very conscious that he left his family back in Chicago to help out his brother and his nephew.
Because he still wants to find his brother.
Yeah,
because Articus, dad.
Yeah.
That's when they start heading to their destination, but they're
can't
lost.
find it.
They're lost.
So they eventually reach Devon County in Massachusetts, which is where Arkham whatever is located.
Arkham.
Yeah, where it's located, and then what happens is that the sheriff comes in, who's this racist sheriff. They kind of alluded to this beforehand, just because they kind of got some paperwork. It was like, hey, this is some sheriff. And then the sheriff tells them, like, oh, what are you guys doing in my county? And then throughout the whole like montage, we've been seeing signs like, hey, this is a sundown state town. If you're black and you're here, you're gonna get killed. Basically, that's like Jesus a law in that time for some reason, which is physically horrible. Like,
that's insane.
And then,
fucking just it's hard to wrap my mind around that.
Oh yeah, very much so. By the way, less than 100 years ago. Just saying.
True.
And then what? And then they eventually leave this thing, but it's like this intense, like slow chase because Atticus can't drive past the speed limit.
Or he'll get pulled over by the cop.
Or he gets pulled over, and then they will be there in sundown, therefore they would die. And then they eventually cross the state line, but the county sheriffs of that town pull them over because they suspect them of robbing houses because they're black.
It was a very like
it's very like it's like basically the sheriff Hunt just called the other county over. He's like, hey, I got some suspects over here. They look suspicious. I'm like, okay, you're fucking okay.
So they
fuck you.
So they get them out of their cars. They get them out of the car and like they start taking them into the woods. But by this time it's already dark. It's getting dark, and you're seeing it like it's like tell them to get on the ground and they're going to shoot them. You're gonna shoot them.
They're gonna shoot them or lynch them or hang them or whatever.
They're gonna do some bad
stuff.
They're gonna
kill them, right?
But that's
right, and you start hearing these sounds, and it's the like vampire monster thing. The I don't know what they said sugar ghost or whatever. They said Uncle George said it.
Was it Uncle George that said it? I think it was Anakin. I think it was Anakin that said it.
One of the two said it, but I think it's Uncle George said it. And there was like, it's like these monsters that are like these giant, like they said it beforehand, like when they were just searching around the forest. And it was like, this monster that it's a goo monster with a whole bunch of eyes, right? And it's like, I think
Anakin was the one that said it.
Lev, I think it's Atticus, and then Lev was just like, "Oh, we can beat those monsters. It's just goo, right?" And then it's Lovecraft. It's a little bit different than that, but yeah. And then when they're flash forward when they're like getting like basically almost dead, like the cops hear these monsters, like hear these sounds like growls and like whistles or like movement in the trees, and then bah. Like one of them takes out a cop.
Yeah, it gets very graphic real quick.
his arm falls off, and then like another one comes in, and then Atticus and Lev start booking it. Uncle George tried to catch up, but he's a little bit older, so he falls instantaneously. I think he gets pushed over by one of the cops. Eventually, Atticus and Lev and two police officers, one who got bitten, it looks like.
Yeah, got like his shoulder like bitten off.
Not bitten off, but like he had scratches or something. go find this little cabin, and they're like standing there. There's like they're like, oh my god, you have to make sure. Are we good? Atticus tells Lev, and then the cops was like, you guys, you stay over there, right? And then eventually they kind of figure out that these monsters are like vampires ish.
Yeah, because like
right?
they're afraid of the light. That's why they only come at night and like
At night, right?
Yeah, so they have vampire characteristics.
Yeah, so like and then the sheriff that got scratched, Scratch starts turning into a vampire, but before he does, Uncle George finally like slowly waits until everything's calm, and then comes to the cabin. So there's the three of them and the third person, and then the sheriff or that gets shot, or the deputy gets shot, this gets scratched. He starts turning into a vampire kind of quickly, and then his like co-partner or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't shoot him. He was like, I don't want to shoot him. It's like, bro, this man is turning into the monster.
It's the thing. I feel like this is like a metaphor, like a symbolism. It's like Atticus knows what shit's happening because he has to deal with like monsters all throughout his life. Yeah. Like if it's from war or from just racism that he has to live with, right? While white people don't have to, white people in this world don't have to deal with racism, or right? Yeah. So they can be like, oh shit, that's fucked up. I'm gonna shoot that, right? Yeah. Like that motherfucker's turned into a vampire.
Yeah, it's like a vampire thing, and it's just like what do you? And so he gets bitten. The other cop gets bitten.
Yeah, bitten. And then
but that's after like they had a little like run to the cars, and then she out of nowhere like busts through the cabin thing that they were in, so they all get into the car. They're all like panicking. They're like, what the hell was just that? So and then they no wait, they don't get in the car?
They don't get in the car because the car is damaged. They can't.
Oh yeah, because it went through the cabinet. So but the monster goes away.
They walk.
Monster goes away, and then they start walking.
They walk away. They walk away quietly. They try to make sure they have flashlights so they can like shine the monsters away because
the vampire monsters away.
Yeah, because the monsters are afflictive towards their weakness is light. Yeah. So and then eventually they see this like massive like mansion, right?
Yeah, they're like covered in blood, and they see this giant mansion.
Giant mansion, and
because they go over a bridge, like a bridge with the little roof over it, and I think that was the bridge that we're looking for to like earlier in the episode they were trying to look for that bridge, but they couldn't find it. They found it by like I guess just by walking. They're just I guess traumatized, but then they're like oh shit, we are here in this building. That's when episode 1 ends.
No, yeah, they get to the front door, and it gets very Scooby-Doo-ish very quickly.
Yeah, very Scooby-Doo-ish.
Like someone knocks on and just like, oh, Mr. Freeman, we've been expecting you, and then it's like, and it cuts, and you're like, oh fuck, what is next?
Yeah, and then like I want to say the first episode was more eventful than the second one. There was a lot of stuff, just constant stuff in the first one.
Yeah, the first one it was more like
introducing everybody in like
them trying to set up the world and then this world, the like not even this like superficial world, like not superficial, but the supernatural world, but the world in general. So like you start seeing like the community that he's from in Chicago, and like the racism and the segregation still a thing in the United States during that time. So they have to develop a lot of things, and you start getting some fragment of character development for Uncle George, his family, Atticus, Lev, stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But Will, what do you think about episode 1 so far?
Episode one was fun. It was a fun watch. I liked it because it was a constant. It was constant from getting chased by the racist white people to actually it was mostly that, and then when the monsters started appearing, it added a little more intensity to that. But I liked it. I mean the time that time period. It's pretty cool to look at because it's just so surreal. It just seems surreal, but
it's so surreal. But it gives you so many lessons of like what if we don't learn from, especially that time period of Americans for a good section of the minority population. If we don't learn from it, it's bound to repeat itself. That's what history is. But nevertheless, it's pretty cool. There and I kind of like, and I talked to you about this when I was like I like when it's like characters, when it's the black characters like in horror movies, because like same like Get Out and Us, right? Like it's it's Jordan Peele, right? Jordan Peele is great as this, like, it's like there's multiple monsters that it's not only like actual like monsters, like literally monsters, like
it's not like your it's not just your Scooby-Doo monster. It's like society.
It's like society's.
It's also the monster. It's just like
which is like the
it
one.
That's another
even more.
Yeah, that's another level of panic and anxiety to the story. Through the story, and then I mean, that's what the show, like at least the first episode did. The first episode did.
We don't have any like special sections. Do you want to rank the episodes? There's 10 of them, so.
I mean, it's kind of hard to rank the first episode without like.
I know, but like
we watched two. We watched two of them. Yeah, well, we can eventually start ranking the episodes, but I mean.
Yeah, so it's like episode one.
Compared to episode 1 to 2, is that?
No, but because this is gonna be the end of the first episode, right? Like our episode, then episode 2 we can rank and give number 2.
We're not gonna talk about 1 and 2 at the same time.
Oh, we can talk about 1 and 2. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, we're gonna have like an hour long thing. Okay, so like.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an hour thing.
Okay, cool. Oh, the cutoff date's at 2:00 because the Braves play at 2:00. If we haven't noticed, it's the NL's DS. I'm sorry. First time in 100 years that the Braves are in the NFDS, it feels like. But nevertheless, episode 2 starts as soon as episode 1 ends. Like literally,
it does.
If I remember correctly.
And it's like I say it's a slower. It's a slower episode, but it's not as interesting. It's not as interesting as the first one. I mean, I like you get introduced to like there's a cult here. And like
the Order or the Large,
and Anakin's being welcomed to this.
It's a lot more exposition.
Yeah, I wanna kind of summarize the episode because I mean there's not a lot of events that happen.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of events that happen. It's more.
I was gonna try to do like episode 1. I was trying to remember everything.
No, but I don't think there's need to do that in episode 2 because it was literally like, oh, it's Anakin. Okay, Anakin and his friends like get into are very, very welcome to this giant mansion, and Anakin's the only one that's kind of like, wait, what's like, why are these white folks being so nice to us? So nice to us, and then they start to notice that they might be using them, and Anakin's only goal is to like find his dad. Atticus. I'm saying Anakin.
Anakin. It's not. We're not playing Star Wars. By the way, we did have a Star Wars Squadron episode go up. I don't know.
Yeah, go watch it.
It's an hour long or so, like a few hours long.
So in like Atticus' goal, like he's I guess he has soldier mentality. His goal was just to find his dad. So he
has a goal, he has a plan, and he's trying to just get it and just fucking book it.
Yeah. So and then there's like a little village near the big castle. So they go over there and
like it's a town. It's a town.
It's a little town, and then and Atticus like figures out that the dad is in that town and she doesn't know where. And then there's like this like not prison but this giant silo that he might
it's
be
like a butcher. It looks like a butcher. They use it as a butcher thing. They hang meat from it. So
yeah, it was weird because it was like it's a silo but it's like a butcher underneath. Like it was weird.
Yeah. But before they get to the village, William, who's the guy who like introduced him to the castle and everything, right? That he takes him around. He tell him the story about like the guy who built the castle and how in the 18 like that castle wasn't the first castle, was a recreation of a castle that got burned down in 1833, right?
Yeah.
And that there was like almost no survivors except like a few people, not a few people, like maybe
Yeah,
one or two
yeah,
people.
I think it was
right?
just like one person.
Yeah,
One.
yeah, and then and, like one person, like they don't tell us, like we don't know. I think William said, like, yeah, there was only a few people who survived, like a select few survived or whatever
Mm-hmm.
from that horrible fire, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I think after the village, if I remember correctly, like they see like, okay, the tower is important.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
tower is probably where my dad's at, right?
They know that that's where yeah, the tower's important. Yeah.
And then they're walking back. To the castle because they're like, hey, just come back for dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're
I was
walking back,
getting.
and then Uncle George, like,
I,
I think this is a little bit important. Like, Uncle George tells Atticus, it's like, yeah, your mom told me about something about her, like,
yeah, like
lineage, that
yeah,
her grandmother survived the Great Fire, and her master, Braithwaite, who is the same name of the person who, like, built the castle,
mm-hmm.
and, like, um built the castle, was very nice to her.
Yeah,
Right?
that's when we start realizing that the Atticus like has has a connection to this castle through blood because of his grand mother or something like that.
We don't know if it's blood. I think we're assuming it's blood.
Yeah,
It's
we are assuming.
we might, like, at that point we think it's like ownership, because it looks like that the Braithwaite Titus Braithwaite owned slaves, and Atticus' great grandmother at that point, I
Mm-hmm.
think, if I remember correctly. It's a lot of was a slave of his, and she was one of the only survivors of the fire.
Yeah.
So we go from there. And if you want to pick it up.
What happens there? I mean, well, the thing is, I'm not I don't want to go scene for scene for this episode because
I know,
it just seems like such a like a
no, but at that point, it's like important though. I feel like, for like out of this whole episode, there's like two things you should take away. It's that his family lines, like, attached to the Braithwaite lines, who
mm-hmm.
is like this magical order of
Yeah, it's like a
wizards, magicians, or
it's like a
whatever.
cult. It's like a cult thing, and like one of their main goals was to try to get it to the Garden of Eden, and like the Titus, the owner of the castle, and like in Atticus, I guess, like part of his like family tree, we're just assuming
Mm-hmm.
it's blood. Um, he tried to open like a gate to Garden of Eden. Maybe that's what caused the fire to burn the house down, the castle down, or in
Yeah.
in the past, and that's what like would get killed everybody. But and then the order still the order's still up, and then the new head of the order is like got Atticus to come.
Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel
Yes.
come got the Atticus to come to the castle so he can use like his like ore or blood to like open up the gate to the Garden of Eden, and we get to a point where like we get to a point where wait, let's see, we get to a point where Atticus is like, why would I do that? And then they try to
Escape.
escape after he realizes that Atticus realizes that he like has power over this organization.
Yeah. So what, if I remember the way he finds that out, it's that Uncle George was basically trying to read one of his books. He pulls a lever. He finds like this massive library, and he finds basically
the rules.
the cult's by,
Yeah.
the cult's bylaws, like, on a table, like in a secret room behind them, and that's when he's like, they have discussion. They're just like, oh wait, this yeah, you, if we're right, and you're attached through this bloodline through blood somehow,
Mm-hmm.
um you're like the son of Sam, son of Adam, because these people think they're like descendants of like Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
right? That you have command over these people. So, like, they have a dinner before, like, they start opening the portals. It's like, hey, Atticus is like, everyone get the fuck out, And then
yeah.
there's like a tense. One of my favorite moments is like there's a tense moment that everyone's like, I was like, oh shit, is he actually the thing that we think he is? It's like, is he actually? And then he's like, that's a fucking order. And then everyone's like, okay, cool. They just left. It's like, okay,
so after that, like he says to Samuel like I order you to show me where my dad is. So
yeah.
I don't know what happens there, but they cut to them going to the silo. Uncle George and Atticus they show them running towards the silo.
Yeah.
And then
they're going to the silo that they think their dad is in.
Yeah.
Which it is, right? And then they get to the bottom. They're like, where is that? Where is he? Mm-hmm. And then one of the his dad's favorite book, it's the Count of Monte Cristo. So the Count of Monte Cristo, the one of the prisoners escapes by digging on the ground and escaping. And then they start like looking at the rocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start looking at the rocks, and they realize, oh shit, Atticus's dad starts. It's like he removed the rocks and starts like digging through, try to get outside. Yeah. And then you see like they cut to a scene. It's one like pretty cool. It's like it's kind of funny too. It's kind of like you see like Atticus' dad going through the thing, and then he finally gets out. He's like, yes. And then Uncle George is like, hey, I forgot his name. It's like, hey, wait, let me look it up. It's like, hey, Moros is like, Moros, and then he's like, and it's one of my favorite actors, Michael K. White, who's the Omar in The Wire, right? Yeah. And then he's like, and then his dad instantaneously like snaps at Atticus. He's like, why the fuck did you come here?
Yeah, like why are they here? It was so weird. It was kind of like it was a funny moment because he's like yes, I got out. And he's still like handcuffed, and like the guys are like, and then they're like, hey, what's up? Like, come with us.
It's like, hey, we got everything, and then he like almost instantaneously snaps at Atticus and is like, why did he fucking come here? I didn't need you guys to escape. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing here, right? Mm-hmm. And it just again shows you the relationship. Yeah, the relationship with him and his dad, the very strained relationship, and then they escape. They hit like a visible wall in the bridge.
Yeah, and then the bridge that has a little roof. They're like, oh cool, we're out of here. We're gonna get out of here. Fuck the white cult people, whatever in that castle. And then that's when they hit like a spell, I guess like there's like a spell on the other side of the bridge that stops the car. Like they crash into it.
So it looks like Samuel's daughter Christine. Yeah, it's like a super magician, wizard,
yeah, she has like,
witch, a wizard or witch. I don't know, a Wiccan.
No,
a Muggle. I don't know which one. You're a Harry Potter guy.
Women that are wizards are called witches.
Okay, cool. It's there. She like puts a spell on the thing, and then she like is able to like stop things going through. And then Samuel rides up behind them. They're staggering from the car because their fucking got ripped apart. And also, that we figured out that Christine is the woman that was from episode 1. Yeah, in the silver car. That and then he shoots Lev in the gut. She dies.
Oh, she
dies. She dies at the moment though. She dies at the moment, and then Atticus like, okay, stop it. Before you shoot anyone, what do you want from me? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I just want you to be a part of the ceremony because I need you so we can open the gate to
the Garden of Eden.
The Garden of Eden, right? And then he's like, I'm not gonna do that for you. I'm not. I don't want that. And he turns and shoots Uncle George.
Uncle George, yeah.
Right. And then it cuts, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do that. They get ready for the thing. The ceremony happens. I don't know if you remember what happens at the ceremony. I'm trying to think.
In a ceremony, like it's like they there's a couple electric balls, and like the balls intercept onto Atticus. And then there's like a gate, like a little gate made out of wood, and it starts opening up, and you can see like a garden like leaves
kind
are coming out of it.
Yeah, it's coming out of it.
Atticus has like a ring from the order, and the ring starts um
It's like if the
sometimes
best way.
like a black thing starts coming out of it. So he kind of uses it like a shield. Like he puts his hands up where he has the ring, and he kind of like uses it as a shield or whatever. But then like he looks into the gate and he sees like his old
Grandmother
yeah,
who was probably like the
his old relative, but young, or like run like looking back at him,
and
and then
she's pregnant too, so that I feel like that tells the audience that like she had the kid of Braithwaite
mm-hmm,
Braithwaite's kid, and then therefore that's how his line kept going
yeah,
there uh there, and then something happened. I think it's not successful, starts scrambling. It turns, he does like a
oh
giant a shockwave, and then everyone
yeah,
everyone kind of turns into sand.
he like screams out he like screams out loud. He like yeah, he starts screaming and he does like a like a like a like a force comes out of him, like the same black thing comes out of him and it hits everything, and it like things start scrambling, and all the people that were in the order start turning into stone. Into stone,
So yeah,
and then so he starts to get out of try to run out of the house. The same and like he's, and it's very visually like telling you like, oh, he's doing the same thing his ancestor did of running out of the castle. One was the castle was burning and the castle was crumbling down, but
behind
he's
him. Yep.
behind them. So they're both like running out, and they run out, and that's when they meet the other characters that are also
Characters.
traumatized of whatever been happening
What
in the
happened, and
castle.
then at that point, Lev gets brought back to life because Atticus is like, hey, save her life
Yeah.
so I can do the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
um and then we get to the car. I think it's a cliffhanger if I remember correctly. I don't think anything happens between like the crumbling of the thing and
And then
the
going to the car.
cliffhanger. Yeah, and it's Morrow's hugging Uncle George, his brother, and looks like Uncle George is dead.
Yeah. It looks like he's dead. And I think that's when the episode ends.
And the episode ends, which it leaves it off a cliffhanger. The only thing I have to mention is that Christine is like kind of important. It's like
She.
three major things. Three major things happen. Or four. We get introduced to the order.
Mm-hmm.
We get introduced to Atticus's bloodline through
Yeah.
his mom. Christine,
Mm-hmm.
and how, and Christine not gives birth. She helps deliver a cow's birth, but it's not a calf. It's like one of
Yeah.
those.
It's
It's like a
definitely.
alien. It's like not an alien. It's like a weird monster thing.
It's
It kind of
definitely.
looks like one of
It.
some of the vampire stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely. There's something going on that was the like the castle was a center of, because the little village, I guess they and the people that were helping her give birth to this weird creature, like, but they were normal about it. And like if I can remember correctly from the first episode, when they figure out where they need to go, it's clearly like it was just woods on the map. It was woods. There was no mention of a city there or any like a little village or anything there.
Yeah, they go to the county, and
Yes.
they're just like
So, and that's why it was
there's
so
like
hard for them to find it. um the second episode was a lot of exposition. They were trying to make it exciting with the order, and like, oh, and then like stuff happening, but it wasn't really, there was not much intensity as the first episode was intense as the first episode. My theory for like for
yeah. What's
most
your
of
theory?
this thing, I think Atticus does have some sort of like power, and like I'm assuming the power is gonna be more obvious now that he has a ring from the order. That he's wearing the
Okay.
ring from the order. But I think that he like the if we ever see other monsters or stuff, it's because of him. If he mentions the monsters at the beginning of an episode, they
It's the
will
monsters will
it
pop up.
that type of monster will pop up.
One of
Uh,
my favorite lines. Well, going back, I know. Oh, are you done with your theory? I don't want to cut you
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Well, one of my favorite lines is that Atticus is talking to Christine, and they're talking about like, hey, we're friends. Christine's like, hey, we're friends. It's like Atticus is like, we're not friends. We're like like friends would do, like help each other out, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what friends would do, right? And then she's like, "You haven't helped me out at all. You have like my friends don't remember what happened the day, like in episode 1, like the monsters and stuff, like." And then she helps them out, and then and Atticus is like, "Well, what does your dad do?" It's like he's like just role playing KKK, and she's like, "No, we don't mess with those poor people." And I'm just like, damn, damn.
In episode 2, you get a feel that the Christine character, she's gonna be coming back in some sort of I don't know if she's gonna be a helping hand or maybe or it might be a helping hand. I get a feel that she's gonna be a helping hand later on in the series.
For me, I have no clue what the hell is happening next because they have the dad. That's the main mission of the whole.
Yeah, that was the whole mission of the first 2 episodes.
Like I don't know. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like a series, like a monster of episode type of thing, or is just like there's gonna be this overarching plot.
Because once we got introduced to the Order, I was like, oh, we got and at the end of the first episode, I was like, the Order, okay, there's gonna be like 2 episodes of like them messing with the Order and doing stuff with the Order, but it's literally like that. It was literally the Order was just that episode, and I was like,
the first episode, episode was like the vampire racism cops, right? And then the second episode was the wizards.
Yeah, because like once the Order's castle mansion castle thing, and then they crumbled and they turned into stone. I was like, what the fuck is this? Where is this story going? Because now we don't know where it's going. We're in episode 2. We have no idea where it's going. We don't know if the uncle is dead. He might be dead, but
we don't know because
where are they going? Where are these characters gonna go? There's still 8 episodes.
I don't know.
I have no idea what these episodes. I'm very excited. I do like the series. Like I told you yesterday. It has those storylines right now, episode by episode. They kind of feel very like monster of the week type of style, but with the production value of HBO. There was some moments that was very Scooby-Doo, like kind of it's very campy at times. Very campy at times, especially because like there's like 3 main characters and then kind of like stuff like that, and they're kind of spooky but like kind of playful, whatever.
Kind of eerie, kind of like you don't know where it's going, but you're like I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see the episode 3. I was like, we finished episode 2 and it was like 2 a.m. and we were like, oh come on, should we watch another one? And it was like,
I was like, nah, I need to take a nap.
But to rank the 2 episodes, I'll put episode 1. Episode 1 was better than episode 2.
Rank the episode, yeah. So episode 1 is definitely much better than episode 2. So I'm gonna write it down somewhere.
I'm just really I really want to know what is gonna happen next because it's getting very, very interesting. Because like now we don't have no idea where it's going. Are we gonna keep doing stuff with the cult? Is something gonna happen with the cult or not gonna happen with the cult? What is gonna happen?
I have no clue, and that's what the cool thing is. It's like we don't know what's gonna happen, which is gonna be cool.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm fucking up with the lights.
But yeah, I've liked it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too, and I feel like it's a good series.
We're about 6 minutes to the hour of this, so I mean, it's a good place to start. Yeah. We'll watch episode 2. I mean 3 and 4, or maybe just episode 3, and then we'll talk about it later. But
of course.
Subscribe and like and stuff to keep up with this.
Just do whatever.
Yeah, and if you want to put in the comments what you thought about the episodes, hey, go ahead. I'll read them. And try to get a conversation going down there, because that's always cool.
Or if you guys want to make suggestions for other series that we can talk about and dissect.
I feel like we should just do one series at a time though, because it's gonna be hella overwhelming.
I low key want to do the Watchmen series so bad though.
Oh, we could do the Watchmen, but like
the feel like you enjoy it.
We'll do the watch one, but like, let's do just one series at a time right now, and then we'll keep going. I really like this, and I really like talking about it just like this.
Yeah, and yeah, which just
I do feel like maybe if I would at the end of the series, if I go back and watch it, I'll start seeing little details and stuff. Maybe there's foreshadowing, because I know like in Get Out and in Us there was stuff there was stuff like that early in the movie that would like show up later in it. So I bet like there's stuff in these couple episodes that we oversee that will show up later in the. Because I bet you something about the white paint on the walls will show up later. Even though it showed up just in the first episode, but it's gonna show up later. But for that, I think that's pretty much it. Chris, you got any other?
That's basically it, of course.
No.
Of course, this is Chris, and that's Will.
Me, Will.
Oh, that's Will. Will's over there, behind me. But of course, come back and visit us any other time, and stay safe, and
bye.
Watch out for the creepy monsters.